How's it going, everybody? The Pirkei Avot is a collection of theological teachings, maxims, wisdom from the Rabbinic Jewish tradition. A few years ago, a member of our community passed on a little wisdom to me from that source. We got to talking about service, how we carry ourselves into the world and what we feel our path is. And he said to me, it's important to remember to give from your surplus and not your supply. It's a simple statement, but there's a lot of power behind it. So often we get caught up in taking care of the needs of others or our day-to-day activities that we forget to take time for ourselves. This week has been a perfect example of that. Had a lot of chores to do around here, some yard work. Ended up doing quite a bit of yard work over at my mother-in-law's house. I spent time in the kitchen cooking, fielded a phone call or two from, a friend of mine who was in need. And I am blessed to be able to do all of these things. I enjoy them. But the truth is, as it got closer to the end of the week, I started feeling a little bit ground down, a little bit outgunned. And I realized that I hadn't taken enough time for myself. So this afternoon, I'm going to be out here in the garage. I'm going to carve a spoon or two. I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to enjoy this absolutely gorgeous Saturday afternoon. But there's even another layer that goes along with that simple wisdom, and it's this. Sometimes those of us who grew up in dysfunctional households, we learned the art of being a people pleaser. And we did that as a form of surviving. We had to learn to read the room. We had to learn how to respond. We had to learn to say the right things or not say the wrong things, and to give people what they wanted in order to keep ourselves safe. And that leads on an even deeper level sometimes to the dance of codependency, where we measure our self-worth by the things that we do for other people. You hear songs all the time on the radio that are passed off as love songs, and they all translate into some version of, I love you because of how you make me feel. That's the sickness of codependency. And so one thing that we have to be very careful of is to check the space where our giving comes from. Doesn't mean we're evil. But those old patterns die hard. And so it calls upon us to look to our giving. Are we becoming a martyr when there's no need? Are we going over and above expectations because there's no way we'll ever meet the expectations that we have for ourselves deep down inside? As soon as we come close to filling the hole, that part of us that feels worthless just digs the hole a little deeper. And we work to please others, to get their approval. And that hole never gets filled. Being of service to others is a beautiful thing. It's a necessary thing. It's love your neighbor as you love yourself. But here's the truth. If deep down inside you don't really love yourself, then where your service comes from is not out of love of neighbor. Sometimes it turns into projecting your own needs out onto the world and trying to fill them vicariously. Along with that, there's another saying. You can't pour from an empty cup. And when we work to fill our own cup, when we work to take care of ourselves, then there's a greater chance that the service we do in the world is good and right and pure. And that makes it easier to have a surplus when our own needs are met. So take some time to fill your cup. Until next time.